Previously, when I was trying to see how fast this Land Rover could go.
Come on, girl! 100! Woo! I've got no steering. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
All right, something's wrong. I've got a ticking. Oh man, this is not good. Just after reaching 100 kilometers an hour, we had a bit of an engine issue. The rule was to not do anything dangerous. I should have said the rule was not to damage anything. We have had a valve spring snap. Again, how in the hell that happens? And this was the spring. It had only done 400 kilometers or so. It was brand new, and it was a double spring, actually, one of those ones with the spring inside a spring, and it cleanly snapped. And me doing 100 kilometers an hour or 60 mile an hour was about 3,500 revs. That shouldn't do that. That shouldn't cleanly snap. So I put that down to pretty bad manufacturing. I don't think I installed it wrong. There's not an up or a down on these things. That shouldn't happen. And this is now the fourth thing that has broken that was brand new installed less than 400 kilometers ago. All from the same manufacturer. We had the distributor cap break, the little button. There's a video up there for that one. We've also had the same rotor arm that snapped off, the metal contact on the top. We've had this spring, and we've also had this radiator hose. This was brand new, 400 kilometers, and it's all swollen and it's all cracked. And that's not through excessive use. That's a brand new part, all from the same manufacturer. So I'm seeing a bit of a pattern there. We won't comment on the manufacturer, but anyway. So she was properly broken. She had a big scratch on the piston. The valve had bent. The spring had obviously snapped, and she was in a bit of a bad way. So a few weeks later, waiting for parts to arrive and a few hours rebuilding, she's ready to go again. Will she start? Another will she start video. I think this is the third one as well. But before we do that, we'll find out what happened and what we needed to do to repair. And we had a lot of comments through YouTube and the Facebook page. Thank you so much for those. The general feeling on the cylinder was that it was okay, and the piston, yeah, the scratch, it wasn't too deep. So one of the video comments on YouTube summed up the piston pretty well. He said, mate, this is a Land Rover, not a BMW, which I think summed it up pretty well. So the piston stayed. It was a tiny scratch. I think what happened is the valve hit it, and as it was forced up, it bent and then it wedged in. So the valve wasn't actually hitting the piston all the time. So that was a good win. The Land Rover gods were looking after us then. So the piston stayed, and I didn't fancy dropping the sump and getting all the oil out and getting the con rod undone and all that stuff. So that was a very good win there. Thankfully, that valve bent and didn't hit anything. So the springs have all been replaced. This valve has been replaced, the one that got bent. The valve adjustments have all been set. I've just done the final compression test on the cylinder, and everything is looking okay. Will she start? So before we do that, we've had a few questions on Facebook and on the YouTube chats. I love those comments, keep them coming, asking what we had to do to repair it. So how much did all this cost was a couple of questions from you on YouTube. It wasn't that expensive, to be honest, obviously in relation to everything else I've spent on this thing trying to get it running. We got new springs. The springs, I got new old stock, managed to find some of those in Cyprus. So they were $28 each. I got 10 of them, 2 spares, and I've replaced all of the others because I just don't trust that manufacturer anymore. I got a new valve as well for the exhaust. I also got a couple of spares. I did go for the same manufacturer as before just because the valve seats were ground to those. A new head gasket. We needed a new rocker cover gasket, and I also replaced that radiator hose on there as well. So all up, it wasn't that expensive in relation to all of this. Postage, as ever, with Australia, cost almost as much as the parts. But anyway, she's fixed, she's on, she's back together again. We're going to see if she starts. So we'll see if this thing runs. Bit nervous, to be honest with you. It's been a bit of an annoying slog to try and do this with the engine in place. It was a lot easier when it was outside. All right, so I'm going to do it with a bit of wire just because it's easier to see what's happening than if I'm in there and can't see anything. If it's anything, it starts to bubble or explode. So here we go. There we go. She's sounding good as well. She lives. She's alive. Welcome back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I broke you. All right, I think we're going to be delicate with her from now on. I'm going to put that down as a bit of a success. We'll do a test drive up the road in a minute. Probably not going to try and get her to 100 kilometers an hour again for a little while. We'll just see how she goes. But no, there we go. The Landy is alive. We're back on the road again. Bit of a major surge. We've had a 4-week wait for all the parts to turn up and to install them all. But the old girl's running. Okay, test drive time. It's actually 25 degrees and foggy and drizzle here in southeast Queensland. We're middle of summer, so it's pretty humid. I'm sweating my butt off in here. I've got mosquitoes the size of Cessna aircraft, but we're going to have some fun, and hopefully we can get this old girl up this hill, and if it does, we'll carry on going, and we'll get a bit of a place of celebration. Let's see how she goes. Well, this test drive has gone remarkably well. 37 kilometers in, we managed to get nearly 80 kilometers an hour out of her, which is pretty impressive considering what killed her last time. So I'm going to put this as a success. We've come down to a place of celebration to celebrate another victory with the Land Rover, and we're at Macca's. So time for a Macca's breakfast. If you find these videos useful, please do hit subscribe. We've got lots more coming. We're going to take this old girl hopefully up the beach, which will be fun, and off-road for a bit once this rain stops and the mud's dried out. But anyways, please do subscribe, hit like, and thank you very much for watching.